This July 28th meeting of the Board of Trustees for Burleson Independent School District is now called to order at 5:30 p.m. This meeting was duly posted according to legal requirements and a quorum is present. I'd like to welcome employees and guests to the meeting. Ashley, do we have any cards for our open forum section? All right, well, in that case, the Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will adjourn to closed session at 5:30 p.m. For the purpose and consideration of matters for which closed sessions are authorized by Title V, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, .71 to .084. Whereupon the superintendent, at the request of the president of the Board of Trustees, will present to the board's consideration or discussion the following matters. Consider teacher and administrator employment or other appropriate personnel matters. Deliberate a negotiated contract for a prospective gift or donation. Deliberate the use of security personnel, devices, and/or audits, including the intruder detection audit. Deliberate a matter regarding a student or student discipline. Deliberation regarding real property, or consultation with our attorney. We are now in closed session. The Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will reconvene to open session at 6:41 p.m. We have one item to take care of out of closed session. I recommend that the Board of Trustees grant the board president the authority to approve new hires between now and the next regular meeting in August. The board will consider ratifying those hires at the next meeting. Need a motion, please? Second. Pat? Dallas? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, time for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay. All right, time to adopt our agenda for this evening. I recommend that the Board of Trustees adopt the order of items for the July 28th, 2025 agenda as presented. Anybody have a motion? Mike? Stacy? All in favor? Raise your hand. Okay, that motion passes. Time for special recognitions. Dr. Hill.
Everyone, for our July meeting, we have two items to share with you, and I'm going to start by welcoming Coach Natalie Kirkpatrick. All right, I just wanted to start off with a summary of our season. Your Centennial Spartan softball team finished the season with a 25-8 record. We're district champions and went on to win the by-district championship. We lost a tough area round game in 9 innings where we came back twice to tie it up, but showing grit and fight, this team definitely has. We faced our share of curveballs this year, but because of the leadership of this team, we learned to take adversity head on. The athletes we are recognizing tonight brought something unique to the table, and that's what made us successful, not just in our record, but in the way we grew and fought all season. So first up, we have Ava Ellis. I'll have them all come up. And then Madison Haynes and Madeline Hickey, or MK. Ava is a sophomore. She had a standout season, earning Texas Sports Writer Association All-State Second Team Outfield, Fort Worth Star-Telegram Honorable Mention All-Area Utility, and 8-5A Co-Utility Player of the Year. She played both pitcher and right field for us, and she hit .486 for the season with 51 hits and 9 home runs.
Oh, couldn't hit 500, huh?
Ava's that kind of player you can put anywhere and know the job will get done. Whether it's a position on the field or a sign at the plate, we know that she'll handle it without hesitation and with total grit and passion. She will step up this year as an upperclassman, and we're excited to see all that she accomplishes the next 2 years. Madison Haynes has been a key part of our program since her freshman year, starting at shortstop but stepping into third base this season. Her willingness to do whatever it takes for the team shows just how selfless and team-oriented she is. This season, she earned Texas Sports Writer Association All-State Honorable Mention at third base, Fort Worth Star-Telegram First Team All-Area, and was named 8-5A MVP. A few stats: she hit 545 for the season with 53 hits and scored 57 runs. She's an ultimate competitor, tough, driven, and relentless in whatever she does. She's quick, a powerful hitter who gives 110% in the field and in the classroom. We'll miss her leadership next year, but she's left a lasting legacy. Madison will continue her softball career at Texas A&M and Texarkana, and we couldn't be more proud. Last but not least, MK had an incredible season, earning Texas Girls Coaches Association All-State Team, Texas Sports Writer Association All-State Third Team, and Fort Worth Star-Telegram Second Team Catcher honors. She was also named First Team All-District in 8-5A and is committed to play at Lipscomb University in Nashville. She hit 543 for the season with 50 hits, 12 of them home runs, and had 56 runs batted in. Despite an early season injury, MK bounced back stronger than ever and helped lead us through district and playoffs. Replacing her next year will be no easy task. MK is a dominant athlete, but even more impressive is her character. She's kind, hardworking, resilient, and always goes above and beyond for her team. We're so proud.
I didn't do that. All right, I'm still batting 200.
1, 2, 3.
Hold up, not quick. We're still getting some. Hurry up. Congratulations, lady.
Next up,
Go ahead.
Parents, we want to see who the parents are of these young ladies. Stand up.
yeah.
Thank you. Great.
All right, next up is Lacey Wood and Cassidy Steambuck.
Good evening. My name is Lacey Wood, and I'm one of the agriculture science teachers at BHS. Tonight is my privilege to recognize 8 of our students for receiving their Lone Star degrees at the 97th Annual Texas FFA State Convention in Fort Worth, Texas this summer. The Lone Star degree is the highest degree of membership the Texas FFA Association can award. To receive a state FFA degree, members must be in their 3rd year of membership, have earned and productively invested $1,000, and or worked 300 hours or more towards their supervised agricultural experience. They have to have demonstrated leadership abilities, participated in chapter, district, area, and state level activities, and have completed 25 hours or more of community service. Please join me in congratulating the following Burleson FFA members on their achievements. Zane Ball, Caden Bullock, come on up. Lainey Holt, Macy Keith, Isabella Livingston, Ella Peters, and Emma Skaggs.
Let's scoot. Just a little bit. You're welcome. You're welcome. Is that all? Is that it? Are we good?
Squeeze in.
Squeeze. Pinch.
All right, we take one big step this way, please. There we go. Great.
All right.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Moms, dads, we good? We good? Oh, yeah, I got the thumbs up. Good. Congratulations, everybody.
Well, we want to see these parents. Any of y'all here? Parents of these kids? Awesome, thank you.
All right, so my name is Kayla Obush, and I'm one of the ag teachers at Centennial High School, and it is my privilege to recognize 6 of our students that are receiving their Lone Star degrees for the Burleson Centennial FFA chapter. Our students are now a part of the 1% to attain this level of recognition. The Texas FFA is the nation's largest state FFA association with a membership of more than 182,000 and more than 2,600 FFA members receiving this esteemed degree this year. Please join me in congratulating the following Burleson Centennial FFA members on their outstanding achievements. Cade Green, Gavin Roberts, Brady Miller, and we have 3 others who were not able to make it tonight: Haley Rice, Trinity Shaw, and Grace Halford.
How are we looking? Don't, wait, I mean, center wise, don't come.
One step this way now.
This way, this way, okay? All right.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you for being here. Congratulations.
Okay, parents of these students. Come on.
Hi, my name's Cassidy Steenbach. I'm also one of the ag teachers at Centennial. Really quick, as if getting to recognize these hardworking students tonight wasn't a proud enough moment for all of us, we're also super honored to be able to recognize Miss Randy Woolsey tonight, who did not know that I was going to do this, but we love her. So on July 2nd, the Texas FFA Association presented Miss Woolsey with her honorary Lone Star degree. This award is given to those who are helping to advance ag education and the FFA and who have rendered outstanding service to the organization. On top of that, on July 22nd, Ms. Woolsey was also presented as the 2025 Outstanding Administrator by the Texas Ag Teachers Association, representing the entire Area 8 FFA Association, which stretches hundreds and hundreds of miles. I could tell you all the counties, but I won't do that. This prestigious honor reflects her unwavering support of ag education, FFA programs, and student leadership development across our district and beyond. Her commitment to career and technical education continues to make a lasting impact on the lives of students and educators alike. Congratulations, Ms. Woolsey. Thank you for all that you do.
You did it too. Hey, where are my ag teachers? Dr. Munson, let's get up here. Please. Yeah, there's only one rule, no surprises. Are we lined up right? We're good? Am I supposed to turn this way? Well, they're on.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Do y'all want to redo this? I was gonna say. Okay. Okay, how do you want us? Greenie, let's put you in the middle. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'll turn this. Okay. All right, ready?
Hey, thanks.
All right, 1, 2, 3. There we go.
That was the last one, right? Okay, well, now's the time for our mass exodus. As I move on to the next agenda item, feel free to.
Hey, the financials are coming up.
You guys don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it.
Thank you for coming.
Next item on our agenda this evening is comments from individual board members. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share, Miss Pat? Okay. Okay, not today. Got it.
only July.
That's true. That's true. Anybody else? Well, good for tonight, huh? Good deal. Okay, the next item this evening is a safety, security, and intruder detection audit update with Mr. Steve Logan.
That one down, am I?
No, you're not.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. Tonight I have several safety and security updates to share with you all. We're currently upgrading the security camera systems at all of our elementary campuses to match the cloud-managed systems already in place at our secondary schools. The cabling for these new cameras has been completed at all the elementary locations. We still have 3 schools that need the cameras installed. But all campuses will have their systems installed and operational before the first day of school, with the possible exception of Mound, just because of the construction going on at that campus. Another project we've been working on is installing vape sensors at our secondary campuses. We now have vape sensors installed and configured in all of our secondary campus restrooms. Our emergency operations plan has been reviewed and updated to include any template changes from the Texas School Safety Center, as well as any new legislative requirements from the state. We will submit the updated EOP to the Texas School Safety Center for review and approval when the submission window opens in September. We've also completed our biannual maintenance audit for all campuses. Here are just some of the things that are done at each campus as part of that audit. Our maintenance department checked all exterior door hardware to verify latches, closers, crash bars, and all components are working properly and the doors are secure. All Knox boxes have been checked to verify they function properly and they contain the appropriate keys and fobs for the campus.
Please explain very quickly what a Knox box is for those that may not.
It's basically a key box for first responders. They've got a key to that, then that has keys to the entire building as well as
On
fobs.
the exterior by the front door that they can access without having to have access to the front door.
Correct.
These are their part.
Yes, sir, correct. Perimeter barriers or fences and gates were checked to ensure they're functioning properly, and our technology team verified 911 calling works correctly and the proper location is reported to dispatch. So thank you to our maintenance and technology teams for their help in completing those audits. And then the last update is on an active threat and reunification exercise we had in June. Thank you, Dr. Jimerson, for filling in and providing an update at the last board meeting when Scott and I were unable to be here. During that meeting, Dr. Jimerson mentioned that at tonight's board meeting, we'd be back to provide some additional information. Scott Shehay was the point person on this exercise. He took the lead in all the planning and organizing, and so I'd like to invite Mr. Shehay up to provide more information.
Hey, Scott, and I was curious myself before you get started, about how long did it take and about how much time and effort going into planning that exercise that day?
We started back in September, with,
Last September.
last of 24, yes, with myself and Joe Laster, the City of Burleson Emergency Management Coordinator. And then total hours between that, probably 40 at least, just in-person meeting, and then anything we did coming back here and meeting with staff. So it was pretty extensive.
I'll say, and I know leading up to the meeting that seemed like every time I turned around, you had to go do something else in preparation leading up to it. So I knew it was a lot of time and effort, so.
Every time we turned around, there was something else that we're like, okay, we got to get this done now. Something else will be uncovered. So what we did, we had a simulation of an active threat at Clinkscale Elementary that resulted in needing to transport the students and staff to the BHS multipurpose facility for reunification with their parents. We followed that with a mock press conference, and then we immediately had a debriefing with all the agencies. So the planning of that, like I said, we started back in September. Then we met as a large group with representatives from City Operations Department, Police Department, the Fire Department, which now also includes ambulance services, the Citizens on Patrol, Public Safety Dispatch, Texas Department of Emergency Management, sent people up from Austin, Gold Star, Hughley Hospital, and then most everybody of the central administration staff of the chiefs all met. Then we formed two separate committees. One was a communications committee that was had people from the communications department here, as well as the police department and the city, that all met together to make sure that, you know, how messaging would go in those situations, and everything that would be sent out, kind of a time frame for that. We also formed a response, reunification, and recovery committee, which was everyone else, mostly first responders, just to talk about exactly what's going to happen at Clinkscale, how that's going to go, how we're going to do reunification. And so then we would go back and meet individually with, I met with people here. We met as a large group. I might meet individually with communications, and then individually with nursing, just to make sure we were all on the same page, and all the other organizations did the same thing. And then right before, a week out, the city communications department put door hangers on all the homes around Clinkscale Elementary, so that they wouldn't wake up one day and see a bunch of fire trucks and police cars and be concerned. So they reached out to make sure all those homes knew what was going on ahead of time. And then for the reunification, we followed the standard reunification method, which was developed by the I Love You Guys Foundation. That foundation and that standard reunification method has also been adopted by the Texas School Safety Center. We then provided a live online training of that standard reunification method for anybody in the central admin that wanted to be a part of that, and quite a few did, so that we could all be on the same page and be speaking the same language. And then over the last several years, we've compiled tons of resources from that foundation, including reunification operation kits, which are basically big suitcases that have binders in them. And inside those have every role that's a part of reunification, lanyards with IDs that have what the tasks are, with the idea that in a crisis, we can hand somebody who's never been there a binder, and it has everything they need to do. And they can get to work and be a part of the reunification, because you don't know who's going to be available, who's not. And so that's why we do these trainings, so we can see how that would go. On the day of the event, we met in the BHS cafeteria that morning for a debriefing, last minute instructions. Then we transitioned to Clinkscale, where we set up a mock emergency operations center in one of the classrooms. Inside that were police chief, fire chief, BISD people, Dr. Jimerson, Steve Logan, Dr. Hill, to simulate in a real emergency, all those people would come together in the same place so they could make real-time decisions. We had maps of the campus posted. We had the camera system up for real-time viewing of everything that was going on. And I'll tell you what was really impressive was the process to watch all three of those agencies and leaders come together and make decisions. And the fire chief took control and started identifying who's going to be in charge of what. And then they would, as new events would come up, they would get together and make decisions. It was really impressive part of that.
And as far as the visual goes, he not only took charge and did it, but he had a whiteboard filled in. Duties, who's doing what, everything that came up went on a whiteboard, so it was not forgotten and we could organize it.
It was who's doing what, and then it was what's our next step, who's going to do this. Really, really impressive stuff. Overall, there were right at 200 people total involved in the whole project, with the planning and then participating either in their own roles or as actors. Of those 200, we had 119 BISD employees that participated. Our SROs, our SSOs, and on a side note, Jack Goldman, the SSO at Clinkscale, was the one who, in the simulation, neutralized the threat. And then, we called the police and they came in. Gold Star Transportation, teachers, student and parent actors, and reunification workers. Reunification workers had an interesting situation, because I had told all the people that were acting as parents, remember, in a real situation, it's going to be emotional. They took that seriously, those parents did, and they created quite a bit of emotion, but our reunification workers really did a great job handling that, staying patient and understanding and knowing that way really happened.
And I think there was a couple of private debriefs afterward going, good Lord.
They exceeded the expectation. A few days later, we gathered feedback from all the participants. We met here as a group to debrief the next day and start talking about what went well and what changes we needed to look at. We've already addressed some of the things, one being to increase staff at certain parts of the reunification where we saw bottlenecks. It's going to be a slow process, but we also want to make sure we're efficient. So really, overall, I want to say thank you to all the volunteers who worked as actors. I was really impressed with the seriousness. They all took their roles. There wasn't any joking around. Once it started, everybody was in character. That just speaks to their professionalism. All of our campus principals and campus admin either played teachers or students. So they were part of every part of the process. They were in the room when something happened. They all got on a bus and rode the bus over to BHS, and then were part of the reunification, so they can see how that goes if it ever were to happen at their campus. And then Lori Allen played herself as the principal of Klingscale, so she got to do that.
So you spent some time back in the office for a while, didn't you? That's what I thought. I thought so.
Then we had staff from across the district that played either students or parents, and from every part of different campuses, different departments. So it was a wide range of staff. Then our reunification workers, those people who their job was to reunite the parents and the students, were mostly people from this building with the data department, curriculum department, CTE, our administrative assistants, and the communications department all played a role in that. Gold Star and Regina Barnhart provided 2 bus drivers so that we could participate and make that realistic. I'll tell you, our athletic department, Kevin Ozzie, Kyle Geller, Coach Tanner. Coach Tanner moved his workout that day from BHS to Hughes to accommodate, and it wasn't even a hesitation for him to do that when I was talking to him. But they got everything set up, accessible, made sure gates were where they were supposed to be, signs were where they were supposed to be, so that was really valuable. Our maintenance and our custodial staffs, Tyler Boswell and Rita Cole, made sure the facilities were ready, and the custodial staff at Klingscale had to rearrange what they were doing because they weren't there that day. We didn't want them to have to be a part of that. They went to another campus to clean, so they had to rearrange what they were doing. And as they usually do, they just made it work and got back to work the next day. Our child nutrition department, Emily Jones and her crew provided a continental breakfast that morning for everyone, for 200 people, and tons of water. A hot, humid day, and we went through a ton of water, so thanks to her. Everyone in the administration building, if I start trying to name names, I'll miss some, especially all the chiefs. They all gave input. They helped out. Where do you need me? What can I do? Took notes, gave feedback. Nathan Tollison set up the projector in the Emergency Operations Center and manned the cameras for everyone. And then before I was ever hired, Steve Logan and Dina Fenton did a ton of the work and planning for this. A lot of this was already done, and I was able to just take it and run with it. So special thanks to them. And then finally to the board and Dr. Jimerson, every district says safety and security is our #1 priority, but not all of them put the resources and the support behind it like you do, and I appreciate that. Any questions?
Thank you, Scott. As a parent, thank you so much. It means a lot. It means a lot for everybody that was a part of that. We can never be too prepared for something like that, and so really appreciate the seriousness with which you approach that, and really appreciate the team effort that was given. It speaks volumes to me, regardless if I knew you as people or not. The 200 people getting together to make sure that our kids are safe and that our parents can be reunified in a state of panic and horror is really, really important. And so I really appreciate that.
We're lucky and unique that we have such a great relationship with all of our city partners, police, fire. It's not like that everywhere, but we really appreciate that, and we couldn't have done it without them as well.
The amount of resources that went into this, I mean, human resources alone, with the 3 entities that worked together, the police, the fire, it was a full-scale effort. Everyone was a willing and fully contributing partner. It was realistic, because once it started, I don't know about where y'all were, but where I was, it was dead serious. That sounded terrible. It was very serious. It was taken seriously to learn and make decisions on the go. I know I learned a lot sitting in there, and I'm not going to start sharing what all we learned, but we learned a lot. I also want to say one other thing is the dedication of our employees to this, because there's a whole lot of them that not only, I mean, some were still on contract, but some weren't on contract. And some came up and volunteered. Now I know some were out had vacation, and had plans, so this is not, it is what it is. But those that were in town and available showed up. I was impressed, and I was thankful. I was grateful, the dedication of this team to getting this right. And I want to thank all you. You showed up. You're part of the process. Thank you. This all wouldn't work. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You all are the ones that make it happen. The best laid plans, but you do it every day. And then you showed up when we were actually training for a full-scale exercise, and you showed up, and you participated, and you learned just like we all did. And I appreciate that. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. All right, next on the agenda is a policy update, TASB Update 125 with Mr. Tom Dyer. Take it away.
Good evening. We'll knock out the easy stuff first, which is just TASB's really simple pared down housekeeping points, but I have to say that we're going to run into the action item to ask you to adopt 3 policies immediately following the information item. So the first, this right here, again, these are real quick. In your BDAA local policy, it says that you can assign an employee to serve as clerical staff to the board. TASB recommends that that be reassigned to the superintendent as the boss of the employees, and that it doesn't mean that you can't have clerical staff, it just means that you don't assign your own employee. BDB and BDF, TASB chose to split those 2 policies to clarify the difference between board committees and advisory committees. The biggest difference, board committees are just you. Advisory committees, you can add community members to it. And so they just changed the writing of it. EI, the average of halves of courses instead of combining them, because if you combine 2 halves, you might mess up with the average. So just clarification that we're not combining, we're averaging. And then FDE bullying is added to Safe Schools data collection. It doesn't have anything to do with responding to bullying. It's simply adding it to Safe Schools. So that's it for TASB. So now we're on to the action items. 3 policies, one very simple, one a little more involved. And the first one, FNG, was presented last month, which is to remove grievances over discipline assignments and handle that through the Code of Conduct instead of FNG. And FDFM, this is the big one that a lot of people are talking about. This is derived from Senate Bill 401. School districts have to decide whether to allow non-enrolled students to participate in UIL activities. The administration recommends that you adopt a policy opting out of allowing non-enrolled students to participate in UIL activities. A non-enrolled student is defined as a student who predominantly receives instruction in the home by the parent or someone in place of the parent. Dr. Jefferson?
We took a look at this. Obviously, we didn't arrive at this conclusion easily or rashly. We consulted with the folks that would, in our organization that would be the most impacted, which would be our UIL activities folks, which include our fine arts and our athletics folks, and consulted them. And I will tell you, at least at this time, we do not believe we have the infrastructure in place to be able to pull this off or to be able to make it effectively, primarily from a no pass, no play. See, because these students come in are going to have to be under the guidance of UIL. They have to comply with all other rules with this law, but they still have to comply with UIL. That includes no pass, no play. We don't have the structure for that, to be able to monitor adequately academic progress to ensure eligibility. Not to mention that our students now have certain eligibility requirements that they have to meet on a 6 weeks basis that students coming in may or may not have to meet. We don't see that as equitable or fair. Secondly, from a choice perspective, BCHS students, GDDS students, when they decide and they make a choice for their education, they make that decision to go to that school. In so doing, they made an academic decision, which means they gave up the privilege of participating in UIL, athletics, and fine arts for the most part. Allowing others to come in and have a choice that they don't have, or an option that they don't have, we believe is inequitable and unfair to our students at those schools. Finally, our instructors raised the issue of class period during the day. You may or may not know, particularly in the fine arts, they have sectionals during the day. So first through whatever period, you're going to have different sectionals. The requirement for those students to show up, the requirement for them to participate. How do you grade that? How do you manage them? Are they subject to our code of conduct? They're not our student. Yet they're going to come and sit in our classes and take these classes and participate. And can we even force them to do that? We don't yet know. There's a lot up in the air. We do appreciate our coaches and our teachers and our instructors providing this feedback. And as one said, there's just too many obstructions at this time for us effectively to be able to do that. And I think that is the best way to put it. We don't think we can comply. Let me rephrase that. Compliance is going to be an issue, and we're not going to jeopardize our team sports, the eligibility of our players, because we don't have the infrastructure in place to be able to monitor no pass, no play. That's it in a nutshell. There are many more things that we have considered and looked at that are issues, but those are the ones that I think most folks can see readily, patently, as the biggest issues. Is there anything I failed to cover, Mr. Dyer?
I believe that's it. So as a matter of adoption practice, your local policy ordinarily says that when you adopt changes to your policy, you have it presented in one meeting and then you adopt it in a following meeting. But your policy also says that you can do an adoption of a policy presented in one meeting if under an emergency adoption proceeding. And it just simply means that there's not enough time to comply with the 2-meeting rule. And that's what's going on here tonight. We need to have this out and running, not only by September 1st by operation of law, but also to let our community know where we're headed as we start school. So it's better to get the information out sooner, so we recommend that you adopt this as an emergency adoption in one meeting. F&G is not. F&G is a regular adoption.
Okay, is there any further information from you?
Yes, if you'll let me remain after you take the motion and the vote, I'd like to wrap up.
I'll allow it.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know, I forgot the movie. I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
Okay. I need a motion that the Board of Trustees approve local policy F&G from TASB as presented. Do I have a motion? Yes. Stacy, second. Sean, all in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes. Secondly, consistent with board policy BF local, I move that the board approve an emergency adoption of revisions to local policies FD and FM as presented. Do I have a motion, please? Ms. Pat? Michael? All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion passes as well.
Okay, thank you. We got through that. I just wanted to wrap up a little bit. As some of you know, I got the chance to do a little sightseeing in Peru last month. And that included some guided tours, and I just wanted to share one photo. That's Machu Picchu. That is my photo. I was there, so that was a bucket list item for me. And one of the things that I learned in touring and from the Latin American service industry, Latin American tourism industry, if you will, is that I need to say thank you. So, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide tonight on this tour of policy revisions.
That'll be all. Thank you, Mr. Dyer.
No, seriously, I just, as a retired educator, when I was reading through this proposal that we just emergency passed, I just thought, oh my goodness. We, for too long in the state of Texas, have allowed people to make rules for us to live by that don't know what they're doing. And I'm just glad that this board has wisdom to make the right decision for all of our students. And thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pat. Next item on the agenda is our consent agenda. So board members should have received a consent agenda in their packets. I'd like a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as presented, please. Sean? Second. Dallas? All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion passes. Okay. Everyone's favorite time of the meeting has now arrived. Miss Brenda Mize with the financials, please.
Yes, good evening. If you all recall, last month I came to the board and I presented the budget for next year, the 25-26 budget, but we still have a couple months to present for the 24-25 school year, so I am here tonight to present the financials for May. So we have rolled into the new year, but I'm reporting on last year. So if you look at general fund, our revenues are at 102 million. About 77% of our revenues received at this time, and then our expenditures at 103 million. Food service, 6.9 million revenues and expenditures at 6.6. They've hold steady at their expenditures. I do have a special recognition tonight for Emily and her team. Is Emily here? Yeah, hi. So they got the Turn Up the Beat award, which means...
How was that? How was that?
Turn up the beat.
What are you going a little go-go's here?
That's what
Is that
the
what
play
that
on
was?
the words is, yes. So, turn up the beat.
No. Was that a Go-Go's?
Yes.
That was the Go-Go's. And
You
by
can
the
sing
way,
it.
for all you youngins out there, that was a group back in the early 80s.
Anyway, so what this is when you do your summer reading, your meal program, not reading, summer meal program, they recognize. There were 199 schools nationwide that qualified, 57 schools in the state of Texas, and Burleson ISD was one of those. So yay to Emily and her team.
Emily, arise.
All right, yes.
Wave.
Yay. Okay, so debt service, revenues at 39.2 million, which is most of the revenues that we will receive for the year, and then our expenditures at 49.7 million. So we did the bond defeasance in this month of May, and so that payment is up and reflected in the financials. Special revenue funds at 57.4%. So at this time, we've expended what we need to, but these remain through September of 2025. Childcare, revenues at 854,000 and expenditures are at 855,000. So they're right on track, both at about 85% spending and earning. Capital projects, which is the oil and gas revenues, 85 through May. Beginning balance 14.6 million. If you add that in, and then the expenditures of 583,000. So the Mound project is included in this, and that's on the 81 capital outlay. So the balance is 14.9 million. And then payments over 10. The list is in your packet, but listed up here of the majority out of 199. We also have our grant funds, capital, and then our workers' comp. If anybody has any questions. Tax report, collections in May were at 285,000, and for the year we're at 86.7 million. And then just the construction update, the clinic, as you can see, is almost done. It looks wonderful. Still have a couple of payments to make through that, and then the Mound Gym also. I don't know if you guys have driven by, but
I was gonna say,
big changes.
Huge changes, looking great. Mound, and I saw some on the front entrance, some things going in up there too. It's going to really enhance the overall look of that place. We're excited for Mound, and of course, as you probably saw driving in, THR over here, and Miss Peets told me, as I believe, that THR has been giving keys and they're moving in. Is Miss Peets here? She already leave. Oh, there she is. He has a, anyway. But anyway, but they're moving in. Their equipment, supplies, getting set up. We're hopeful that it will be open to the public very soon. We'll leave it at that. Does that sound right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, but in the coming weeks that they will be set up and ready to open up. And of course, we'll all be there. They'll be available, and the doctor and all will be there for our CHS game, August 29th. Kickoff is at 7?
Or 7:30.
7.
7.
Perhaps we could push it back depending on the heat that day. And, but anyway, that building's almost ready to open its doors too. So between Mound and that, we're excited for the good, cool things that are coming. So.
Yeah, looks great. And we're making our payments on time, so everything's going good. With that, that's all I have for financials, and I just have one action item.
Great, thank you, Brenda. We just make sure everybody stays in line here. The next thing we have is our financial action items, which is requisitions over 25,000. So if you'd like to take that as well, that'd be great.
Yes, sir. I just have two. The vendors are Sky Ranch and College Park. The amounts are listed up there, and I'm just asking the board for their approval.
Okay. I need a motion from the Board of Trustees to approve requisitions over 25,000 as presented. Do I have a motion? Dallas, second. Ms. Pat? I see, do we need a vote? All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, that motion passes.
Couple little notes for everybody, just service announcement here. Graduation, as we just had posted up there, the venue will be Thursday, May 21st for our 3 smaller schools, and then at a UTA on Friday, May 22nd. I know that's a long way off, but for us, we got to plan ahead and wanted to get it on the record. New teacher luncheon, Thursday, be there or be square. And then convocation, everybody back. Let's see, August 11th. Is that correct? That is correct. All right, so anyway, just a little public service announcement.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. That brings us to the end of our meeting. We will adjourn at 7:29 p.m.